abbreviated NS. Okay? It's called normal saline because it has a normal concentration of solutes.
Normalsaline?
Yeah, normalsaline is if we want to control pain in a malingerer. Right. That sound means that we're finished with this PowerPoint. Yes. Here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to take a 5-minute break, during which I'm going to just load up and we're going to start to talk about acid and bases. Okay? So that on Friday we have a little bit extra time at the end.
It's still raining. Jordan, is it still raining?
Yes. It actually just got harder. It's been the last time I just looked at it.
I forgot my coffee in the car because I was like
Do you want
just
me to
trying
go
to
grab
get.
it?
Yeah. No, I was going to send you in the rain to go get my
I have a rain
coffee.
jacket.
I have an umbrella.
I'll go get it. For real.
No, I just didn't. I don't want to go.
I'm not in this class. I can go do it.
No, I think I'm gonna go do it.
No, I can go do it. I promise.
No, I'm gonna do
But
it.
I can do it. Look, I have a hood and everything.
It's okay.
No, I want to use my rain jacket.
Exactly.
You don't even know where my car is.
I'll do it.
Why don't I just go with you?
And just point and just yell.
Wait, hold on. Let me make sure nobody's dying.
That happens.
I sent
Yeah.
I sent 3 people out of town for work last night. Well, 1 this morning, 2 last night, and there's been all kinds of problems.
That happens.
What plants are supposed to be water? Well, because I want you, because you're not going to need to know that. But for people who are going further and taking a lot of chemistry, they'll make a big difference. You're not going to take it.
To be a research scientist.
That's why you're not supposed to show your ankles. See, look, I'm not showing mine.
Why are you wearing a soccer uniform?
Because we were going to have practice today, and Kat can go home and get her stuff. If we stop training, I can't.
Okay.
That's disgusting.
We're not having practice. She just hopes.
I'll just go to the gym.
Are we getting our quizzes back today?
Yeah, you didn't get it back?
No.
Oh, I forgot about that.
All right, yeah.
I think I missed like 2 or 3.
Hopefully my coffee ready today.
Hopefully I'll.
Alyssa, I went to Chris.
How was it?
Good. Girl, hopefully my car will be fixed. He was really sweet. His wife's sweet too.
They're like.
But he was like, she's not
Because I knew he gave minus 10, so I just made up
like,
things.
what is it?
I just, yeah.
That's right.
See, that didn't make it.
Woo! Sarah wouldn't let me go because it's raining sideways.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not that serious.
But I can run fast.
Nope. I wouldn't want you to tear something before the game.
And we're going to lose anyway, with or without me, so it doesn't matter.
Confidence.
Right?
Every game.
Hey, I had a really good game though. So I blocked like 2 shots.
But you know, why don't you meet Chris if you want?
I don't think he wants to.
I bet Jasmine's a good player.
Jasmine, are you the
Jasmine,
player?
interested?
Player at what? I used to play.
That's right. You know, it's that ESP.
He's trying to get more people on the team that he knows.
Well-
I don't know.
Well, I'm thinking that,
I should just button the 2 buttons, and that's how she walks around. Chris, Dr. Critter wants you on the soccer team.
I think you could help. I think you could help. They need some help.
Need some motivation.
Thanks, I cut 14 inches off.
Donated?
No, because I have a reason. I'll tell you after class.
Your hair is not long, you cut 2 feet off.
That's not 2, that's 1.5.
Brain sorry, thank you, but
1.5,
14
yeah.
inches is okay.
Yeah, it was halfway down my butt,
No.
and now it's not. Kat was there, she saw it.
Did y'all know, by the way, I didn't realize, did y'all know that Sarah here is a dancer?
Yeah,
Y'all do
talking
that?
in the parking lot one day, and she told me, and she showed me pictures.
She dances for, who does she dance for?
She used to dance for Voodoo.
Voodoo.
Who?
Sarah.
Sarah.
Ask her for a picture, yeah.
Dance for voodoo?
Yes!
Oh, did she
The-
probably
Oh my
know,
god, don't yell at me.
That's exactly what you do.
So, it's interesting, you know,
You don't know everything about our personal lives.
you
Dr.
don't know, like
Fair.
for instance, yeah.
Huh.
But, you know, I have that ESP,
Oh, yeah.
and so I figure I know mostly about everybody.
Yeah, that's how you knew basically where I lived the other day. When
What?
you told that story about when I had the panic attack, and you got like everything right.
Wait, I told the story about the panic attack?
Yeah, you used me
Yeah,
as
when
an
Jordan didn't get asked to probably.
Oh, yikes. I probably shouldn't have revealed that. That's probably a HIPAA violation.
Definitely.
I probably shouldn't have said anything. I'm sorry. Don't sue me.
No, I think you asked me for permission.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I should have had you sign a form. What's going on? You ready to go? You look like you're ready to get going. What are you eating?
Cheetos.
Some
Cheetos.
Oh, that's nasty.
You nasty, move. Shoot. Play with my Cheetos.
I don't touch Cheetos. They make your hands all
You
warm.
don't touch Cheetos.
You want one?
No.
Okay.
Tennis beat.
All right, let's talk about acid-base balance. The normal pH or pure blood is between 7.35
Yeah, I think
and
that's what it was.
7.45. If you have to hang your hat on one number, it's 7.4. So that, whereas in any other system, we would consider a normal or a neutral pH 7.0. In the blood, a neutral pH or normal pH is considered 7.4. But it can range from 7.35 to 7.45. If the pH of the blood falls below 7.35, we say the patient has an acidosis. If their pH climbs above 7.45, we say that they have an alkalosis. Okay? Now, the truth is that we're bombarding our bloodstream with acids all the time. Okay? Through ingestion and metabolism. A lot of the drugs, those of you who take pharmacology, am I saying something?
Yeah.
I think you might be on Dr. Wise's.
I think I must have, this must be from a different,
This is my PowerPoint.
this is a different acid-based PowerPoint. What's the next thing on your slide?
Peripheral chemoreceptors.
Okay, chemoreceptors.
But it's okay, we can keep
No,
talking.
I wanted.
We were just lost for a minute.
Yeah, it's okay though.
I was like, is my side
You know how, when we talk about the cardiovascular system, we talk about baroreceptors positioned within the carotid sinuses and the aortic arch. Well, closely associated with those baroreceptors are a group of chemoreceptors. The chemoreceptors are located within structures called carotid bodies that sit next to the carotid sinus. And they're also present within aortic bodies, located within the aortic arch. these chemoreceptors are going to sense a drop in pH. They're also capable of sensing an increased concentration of CO2 within the blood, so an increased partial pressure of CO2. And finally, they're also capable of sensing a decrease in the partial pressure of oxygen, a decreased PO2. So any of these conditions, a drop in pH in the blood, an elevation in CO2, or a decrease in PO2, is going to activate these chemoreceptors. These chemoreceptors are linked to respiratory centers in the medulla and the pons. Okay. They're going to be linked to those respiratory centers via afferent nerve fibers. In fact, the same cranial nerves that carry afferent fibers from the baroreceptors are going to carry afferent fibers from the chemoreceptors. Okay. So the glossopharyngeal nerve, the ninth cranial nerve, is going to carry afferent fibers from the carotid bodies. The vagus, the Wandera, is going to carry afferent fibers from the carotid, the aortic bodies. Okay. Up to reflex centers within the pons of medulla. And so any of these conditions are going to trigger an increase in the rate and depth of ventilation. I think we talked about that when we talked about the respiratory system, right? Okay. That's why, for instance, if you're swimming underwater and your PCO2 begins to climb, you feel that urge to take a breath. You're activating this chemoreceptor reflex. Okay. Now, on the other hand, the opposite, if your pH was high, if your PCO2 was low, or your oxygen level was high, your PO2 was high, these would inhibit this reflex. These conditions would result in a decrease in the rate and depth of ventilation. Just the opposite. Okay. I think we've talked about the fact that the body has redundant mechanisms. So in addition to peripheral chemoreceptors, these chemoreceptors located within the carotid bodies and within the aortic bodies, you also have central chemoreceptors located within the brainstem. Now, these central chemoreceptors are sensitive to only an increase in CO2 or a drop in pH. Okay, what happens is, if CO2 levels increase, CO2 is a lipophilic molecule, which means it crosses membranes rapidly, because membranes are made up of phospholipids, lipids. And so, in the face of elevated CO2 levels, CO2 crosses the blood-brain barrier into the cerebrospinal fluid. That fluid that bathes the brainstem. And in the CSF, CO2 reacts with water, leading to formation of carbonic acid, okay, which dissociates into what?
Bicarb.
Hydrogen and bicarb. Okay, so CO2 is converted to hydrogen, okay, which drops the pH of that CSF. It's the hydrogen that binds to the central chemoreceptors and triggers now a respiratory reflex. So it's a redundant mechanism. In other words, it does the same thing in many ways that these peripheral chemoreceptors do. When CO2 is high, or as a result the hydrogen level concentration increases, then we activate central chemoreceptors as well as the peripheral ones. So if we increase the rate and depth of ventilation, what's going to happen to our CO2? It's going to come back down. We're blowing it off. Let me remind you of Le Chatelier's principle. Le Chatelier's principle refers to a chemical reaction that exists in equilibrium, like this chemical reaction. That states that if this equilibrium is disturbed, then this chemical reaction is going to proceed in such a way as to reestablish equilibrium. So, for example, typically if someone is, let's say, hypoventilating, and their CO2 climbs, what's going to happen? If one side of the equation has a substrate that's present in greater abundance proportionately than other substrates, it's going to drive this equation from left to right. In other words, this excess CO2 is going to be consumed. It's going to react with water, producing carbonic acid, that leads to the production of more hydrogen. Okay? That we're going to tend to balance out the substrates as a result of driving this equation left to right. Okay? So in the face of hypoventilation, this hypercapnia is going to lead to an acidosis. So our pH